Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. Hey, for a while now, I've been bragging about Gaahlerie's new Kaleido paints. And today, I finally got video in the spray booth with my new setup, so we'll be able to watch together. So let's jump over to the spray booth, and I'll show you what we did. All right, we're over at the spray booth here. This is the primer I'm going to use. It's Kaleido's black primer, but this is a gloss primer. First time I ever used it. So I gave it a quick test shot, make sure it's coming out of the brush okay. I almost just grabbed the car and went with it, but I decided, no, let's put that off the side. I got 500,000 spoons. Let's try them first. So this is our first coat just to see how things come out of the brush. Like I said, this is the first time I ever used this, and it just works fine. No surprises whatsoever. It paints just like their paint does. Usually, because they say right on the box, I always try to do 2 spoons. But instead, I saw I nicked that. Usually, because what they say on the box is you don't really need primers. So for the past couple of kits, I haven't used primers. But this one, I want to do something different. So I wanted to use this black primer. And you'll see in a minute why. But I always start out by hitting the bottoms and going around and kind of outlining things. I am going to do 2 coats on this, so I'm not going crazy here, but I am trying to get a good coverage. And it was easy to do. And you can see right off the rip, again, I got so excited about painting that I didn't put on my glove. So let's see how much paint we end up with on my hand. So far, I'm liking this. It's covering well. It goes on smooth. And again, I was nervous about this because, again, it's the first time I ever used it. But I just said, let's paint it just like I paint the Kaleido paints. So I'm trying to get a good half nozzle coverage on it. And I'm also trying to keep it to where my overspray is to a minimum. My basement's really dry lately. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some of the thinner with retarder in it just to help me out with that a little bit. So right now I'm really worried about my how I spray just to keep everything wet. But this is going on. You can see it's just laying on smooth. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause. There's no sense in watching me paint the entire thing. But again, this just lays on. This is first coat. I'll bring you back in a second here when we start with the second coat because I did do 2 coats on here. But look at how smooth that dropped in. All right, that dried for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And I wanted to put a second coat on it just to even everything out. Just for me. I didn't have any problems with this whatsoever. It went down really, really nice and smoothed out really nice too. So my worries about the dry basement were kind of, I didn't need to worry about it. It went really well. You can see it self-levels nicely. No sags, no runs. And I'm giving it a good, healthy shot, too. But it just goes down smooth. I try to go different patterns. When I go on my second coat, usually I'll go cross on the one and then full length on the other, or vice versa. This one I couldn't remember which way I went, so I just shot it. there was no visible difference in the way the paint laid. It was a nice, smooth, even coat right down the line. So I just gave it a good thick coat on here so I could work it out. and just make sure everything was smooth and ready for the second coat or the color coat. But you can see just a half, I'm doing a half nozzle overlap. I keep saying that. Um, you can see that gloss jump out. It does dull down a little bit. It's not like an ultra shine gloss, but it is way more glossy than any primer I've ever used before. So this is pretty cool. And right about now, I'm thinking, I wonder how this is going to react with the color paints. I know this would be really cool with the metallics, and that's pretty much why I got the black. But I wanted a little bit darker look for my blue than I would get. Now here I'm just going over it, making sure I didn't jerk anything up, and just to make sure everything's even. So I'm happy with that. And as you can see, it did. It laid down there nice. So let me get my blue ready, and I will bring you right back. Okay, this is actually the next day, and what I am using is Kaleido's Rally Sport Blue. It's a metallic blue. I shook it for maybe 3 minutes just to get all the metallic up and moving around in there. But watch this. As soon as I hit this thing, and I already sprayed a spoon, but as soon as I hit this, I knew I made the right choice. Look at that. I think that's my favorite color. And over top of that black, it's the exact look that I was going for. So I'm very happy with this. Again, I did 2 coats on here, just to even everything out. It needed the 2 coats because I'm not steady-handed enough to lay down a perfectly even coat on the first run. But look at how nice that blue covered that black. And look at how I'm not sure if it's the black shining through or what, but man, am I happy with this paint. It's just a perfect color. And I've never used lacquer paint before. Everybody says this lays down like lacquer. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It sure as heck lays down better than Tamiya paints that I've been using for the past 5 years. No kidding around. It goes down smooth as silk. For me, there was a little bit of a learning curve because I was used to the Tamiya paints not laying out right, or not laying out as smooth as this. With these Kaleido paints, I can keep moving. I don't have to go back over them. Hit it and go. And then just let it sit. It levels itself out. And just, it's no problem. Again, look at how nice my fingernails look. I forgot the glove. Second coat, I remembered it. Here I'm just going around making sure all the undersides are taken care of where it's going to show through. We don't want any of that black sticking out. But check that out. Not bad for a first coat, huh? You can see I do have a couple of lines in the trunk. And honestly, I think if that trunk was smoothed out the way it is, I might have just left it go. So let's hold off here. I'll clean the brush up just a little bit, and we'll be back for our second coat. All right. Like I said, I always do the spoon test. I always do the same amount of layers on my spoon as I do on my project. So here I'm just making sure that nothing's gone goofy with the brush, and I'm getting that color to batch out what the finished color is going to be for the car, because then I'll practice my polishing and my finish coat on the spoon just to make sure, again, nothing weird happens. You can see those lines in the trunk. They did show up pretty good. Without a doubt, it needed that second coat. And this time, I could tell which way I went. So I'm coming a crosshatch on it on the back just to get that evened out. Everything else on this was even. It was just that I didn't overlap enough. When I went, I was kind of moving a little faster than I should have. 100% my fault. But that's okay because we're coming through here with the second coat anyhow, because I am going to polish this. And before I do my clear coat, we'll get the clear coat down, make it look good. But this needs our stripes put in first before we do anything else. I will do a wet sand on this. Then I'll lay my stripes in over after I do a real light clear coat. And I do the clear coat just to make sure that my Tamiya paints don't pull any paint off of the body, because that'd really suck. Just a little bit of insurance. I've already done it twice on these new Kaleido colors where I've put the tape directly over the paint and pulled it off, and I had no problems. But I don't know, this car is kind of special, and I want to just have 100% guarantee that I'm not going to have any problems down the road with it. But there you go. This is quick, fast, and in a hurry. Covers nice, and I actually did exactly enough paint to finish underside there and ran out. So it was perfect. I hit it right there and was like, oh, yep, I'm done. But I can't ask for any more than that. I love that color. We're going to black stripe this. So I will do a video on that too. It'll be real easy. I'll already have it all taped off and all that. But we'll talk about that stripe on the next video. There you go. Painting with the Kaleido is just as easy as it gets. All right. The proof is in the pudding. That Kaleido paint goes down just that easy. And boy, does it just dries nice. It's hard as a rock once it is dry. I'll let this sit overnight. I'm going to put my stripes on the top of it. Then we'll clear it and we'll do our polishing and everything like that. If you haven't used the Gaahleri paints yet, jump over to their webpage. Kaleido Vision is the name of their paints. Use Grandpa Mark in your coupon code. You'll get 10% off of everything that you order. There will be bloopers at the end of this one, so stick around for that. Let's not forget about our first annual breast cancer awareness 24-hour group build. October 11th, 8 a.m. Eastern Time until 8 a.m. on the 12th Eastern Time. It's going to be on my channel. It's going to be on Bruce's Eclectic Worlds channel. And it's going to be on Jason's channel, KRD Klein Racing Design. Bruce is the mastermind behind that, but he said he can do it, and I have faith in him. Also, don't forget to thank your veterans, your first responders, and your active duty people, because they're putting it out there on the line every single day for us. And with that, let's start the bloopers. Because, wow. I got an AC Cobra kit that I just broke up yesterday, and I broke it up, huh? Broke it up. I broke it up. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. And, Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. Just let's intro it like that. And we can talk about it as I'm painting. Ha!